take the grapes here, they make the wine here, they age the wine here. The thing that leaves here is the finished product. That is what I want the youth of Kenya to start thinking. We are very rich in Africa, but we don't understand how to deal with our richness. It is a little bit hypocritical that we are promoting agriculture in Africa, in Kenya, yet we're importing everything from outside the country.
I don't think you know the difference between the normal and the, are they called the red oranges? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking. I am in the US, you guys already know, and guess who I met? I met a Kenyan senator. You know the way they say, oh, we always hear when you're in Kenya, oh, they've gone to the US. So today I've met up with one of them in the US. In case you don't know it, this is the Narok senator.
Yes.
Mr. 𝙁𝙤𝙧. I have to tell you one thing.
Yes.
That I really love how you represent our culture.
Thank you very much.
Even in the US.
Thank you
I
very
see you
much.
dressing like this in Kenya, but you know this is the US.
Yeah. Oh,
People
is
will
it?
think that when you come here now you'll just have to wear suits. But the fact that you're representing our culture here, that's a big deal. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's a very important thing, actually. We have to be true to ourselves, and we have to be proud of where we come from.
Okay.
Yes. So what brings me to America? I came here with the party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, and our mission is to make sure that he's in power, that he becomes the 5th president of Kenya. So one of the most important things was for us to be able to speak to the people in the diaspora, to understand their needs. If you want to be able to be an effective leader, you must consult. So we're able to speak to them. But apart from that, we also want to be able to meet the people who make things work in this world. One of the most important things that has also brought me here is to be able to learn more about this technology city, which is located in Butere. You know, be able to meet the person behind it and to understand how is it that he was able to build this medical city, you know, and see how well we can be able to work together and support our economy. Mwale Technology City is something which will help us be able to bring in a lot of people together, work together to make sure that we change the standard of living of our people, create jobs, you know, make sure that things work in Kenya. I'm very proud to say that I've actually educated over 25,000 girls.
Oh, wow.
Over 25,000 girls.
Wow.
You will find them in Kenya, you'll find them in the US, you'll find them in the UK, you'll find them in Italy, you'll find them all over the world.
When you
and
say
that
you
makes me
have,
proud.
okay, when you say you have educated over
Yes.
25,000, are these girls from Narok?
Girls from Narok, Kajiado, Samburu, Laikipia, and even some from Central Kenya.
That's amazing.
You know, I did that when I was a student
Oh, wow.
in the US. I literally walked across America, you know, and I did that because I believe in empowering young girls. So when I went back and ran for Senate, I dedicated myself to changing the life of women. You know, this might sound a little bit awkward because it's coming from a man, but I believe that women, once they're empowered, then you have leaders, proper leaders who can be able to change the world. Now I'm focused in terms of making sure that I become the next president of Kenya. You know, after Raila Amolo Odinga, then I can be able to focus because we want to create jobs. One of the big projects that brought me here is to be able to ensure, number one, that we can use technology to bring people together to support women. I have a big event, a very, very big event, which I want to invite you to come, which will be held on the 15th of July. I will have almost 2,000 women.
Is it a one-day event?
It's a one-day event, but of course I'll take a lot of time to be able to prep for it. I'll bring in almost 2,000 women from 15 counties. We're going to talk about women power. In the Maasai community, women, the economy of women is based on milk and beads. That's why you find me wearing these beads. So that day we want to bring very powerful women around the world to come in and speak to our women. We'll also be able to bring in industries. You know, when you listen to Raila Amolo Odinga, he talks about one product per county. For me, I've already identified what that product is going to be for Narok. We produce a lot of milk, and the milk belongs to the women. Now we want to create industries in the villages. That is my goal.
Oh, wow.
And on the 15th, I will be demonstrating with a small mini plant where women in a particular community can feel empowered, because when you empower them, you ensure that they can pay school fees for their kids. They can also get medical cover for their kids because they'll have enough resources. So that's one of the things that also brought me here, to be able to try and put the resources together and work with people of like-minded.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I can't wait to attend the event.
Yes.
But I have to ask you seem like you're very passionate about helping women.
Yes.
What makes you so passionate? Do you have many sisters?
I do. I actually come from a family of 14.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I have a lot of sisters and a lot of brothers. And I think how many? We're 8 boys and 6 girls, I think. I mean, I'm sure my family will be like, you don't even know how many siblings you have. There are so many, But I'm really passionate because my mother played a key role in my development. So I always want to make sure that at least I give back because I'm who I am because somebody loved me. I'm who I am because somebody cared for me. So I also want to be able to care for someone. And I'm also a father of daughters.
How many
So I have 2 daughters and love them to bits. And I want to make sure that at least I can be able to support them and for them to be independent.
That's amazing.
And I think working with great minds like Julius and working with women like Shelley and other great minds, people who make things work, will be able to open many doors.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Tell me, what are some of the things you're proud of achieving as a senator, not just in your county, but in Kenya?
In Kenya. One, that's a very good question, and I really appreciate you asking me that question. When I took the Bible and I swore to be able to defend the Constitution, I also know that there are so many things that comes around it. Number one, I'm very proud of the role that I played in conservation of Mau Forest, where I know I was able to annoy a few people here and there, but we've been able to conserve that heritage. The Mau Forest, we moved everybody out of it, and the rains came back. That's number one. Number two, I'm very proud of the role that I played in terms of devolution, sending more money to counties. At that time, I put my life in danger because people did not want money to go to counties. But we worked together with our team. I was among the 11 wise men who sat together and came up with a solution to the counties. So that money went into the counties. Number three, I've also done quite a lot in terms of legislation. One that I'm very proud of is on the National Health Insurance Fund. The current president, who I'm very proud of the work that he has done, came up with this new policy of universal healthcare, that we want everyone to be able to get good healthcare. And that's what Mwale Technology City is doing, making sure that they bring in good, affordable healthcare to the people. So we created the National Health Amendment Bill to be able to factor in all those things that will help people get universal coverage. I'm very proud that I'm also elevating the voice of the youth to be heard. Lastly, one of the other most important things that I did is that I am the first Kenyan politician to be able to walk into parliament dressed traditionally and demand that I be allowed to stay there. That is promoting our culture. And by doing that, you allow people who cannot afford a suit to also feel like they're very proud of what they have. I've also promoted women beadworks. I pride myself as a person who can sit in a group of about 500 women and enjoy the conversation, because they help us be able to make things work. I think I've worked to prepare Kenya for better leadership, leadership that is based on issues. We must realign our existing resources to be able to have a future. And that I think will be one of my greatest achievements in my first term as a senator, that I have been able to show people that you don't have to wait to be for someone to employ you. You can actually employ yourself. So those are the things that I'm proud of.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
I love how you've talked about the outfit, because I went to Dubai last month, and when I landed at the airport, all of them were dressed in their
Absolutely.
clothes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I was like, if only we could also do this in Kenya.
Yes.
Not just at the airport, but now that you brought it up, also in places like Parliament, that would be really beautiful.
Absolutely. If you go, not only Dubai, if you go to Ghana and you enter the airport in Ghana, you'd be surprised. You'll find them wearing their clothes, they're wearing their shirts. So you don't even know who is an immigration officer, who is who, because you have to be proud of your culture. We are given so much, but we take it for granted. You've mentioned the issue of Dubai. They're very proud of their culture. They're proud of what they have. And if you talk to the people of Dubai, in fact, if you talk to the leadership, they'll tell you, we are very rich in Africa, but we don't understand how to deal with our richness. Because Dubai, God gave them only sand, sand and sand. And look at what they've been able to create. They've been able to create wealth. So I think if we embrace our cultures, we work to realign our existing resources, then we can be able to take our country into greater heights. We can end poverty, which is something which is destroying people. Since God has blessed me and I've had enough for me, whatever little that I can have extra, I can use it to help other people.
So now that elections are coming up, what do you promise the people of Narok and Kenya?
I mean, that's a good question to ask. What I promise is that I will continue doing what I've been able to do, but I'll actually even do it much better. Because one, the first 5 years, if you consider that this was my first time as a senator, if you look at what I've been able to do, if you give me another 5 years to be able to voice their concerns, put them on the table. Because if you look at what I've been doing even for the last few months during the presidential campaign rallies, I have been able to make sure that the people of Narok are also considered. So that there's nowhere you'll go today and you will say, where are the people of Narok? Because I will be there to represent them. So now that I'm there, I want to make sure that at least there's no child who will be left behind without getting proper health care. And that is what we continue pushing in terms of making sure that we have the right legislation. There's no child who will be left behind because they cannot be able to afford school fees. There's no woman who would be left behind because she cannot be able to put food on the table. When we all sit down together, have a conversation, we have a better way of leading our people. And also those who are led, they have to guide us and tell us that, would be happy if you can lead us in a certain way. We want to be able to make sure that everyone is equal. It doesn't matter where you come from, so long as you're a Kenyan and you need to get your documents to travel, you need to be able to vote, you need to be able to make sure that you play a role in the decision making. You are given that opportunity. And that is why we're very proud to be working with Raila Amolo Odinga, because at least Raila is taking the concerns of the people in the diaspora into action. He wants to make sure that they have full representation. And that's why we are all pushing that there'll be a cabinet secretary who will be in charge of the diaspora affairs. So like if you have investors who want to invest in Kenya, we don't want these investors to be frustrated. We want to make sure that when the investors get on the ground, that cabinet secretary will be the first one to meet them. What we are pushing for, even with our campaign with Raila, is really service-based leadership, where you offer the service, you make sure that you become a servant to the people, so it's servant and service-based leadership, so that you are able to help the economy thrive. So I really want to plead to Kenyans to vote for Raila, give him an opportunity for him to be able to lead this country of Kenya, and also open ways and doors for us young people to be able to come back later and lead that country as president.
Thank you so much. It's good to see that. People in Kenya believe that, leaders just go to the US kukula pesa, our tax, So it's good to meet a leader who is actually here looking out for us Kenyans. Thank you so much.
I'll put it this way. Our tax, oh my God. This trip is made possible by friends, is made possible by ourselves, So we all come together and say we believe in this cause. Let's put together our efforts. We get really good friends that support us. So really, it's not about tax dollars. It is about commitment. When you put yourself out there, you think through, you work, you build networks, you are able to do more.
Yeah, thank you so much. I have been speaking to Senator Oluokina. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Hey guys, so we are at Mombasa Vineyard, and you'd be forgiven to think that we are actually in Mombasa because we are in the US in a vineyard. This is so cool.
But you have to tell them the story of Mombasa. That's why we're here.
Yes, the person behind Mombasa Vineyard, which is one of the many vineyards here, is Mr. Julius Mwale. You guys met him in New York City. The billionaire that all of you loved. Do you want another video with him? Drop a comment and let me know. But at the moment, I am with the Senator of Narok County. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I feel like spending time with you has made me see leaders from a different point of view, because when you can't reach them, when you only see them on TV, you always think you go with what you're told, but when you see them, it's something different, because like spending time with you has made me realize that you want the best for the people, you're working for the people, and it's amazing.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. I think God really blesses us a lot, and when you're blessed by God, you're given an opportunity for you to be able to spread the blessings. And for me, when I look at the youth of Kenya, and particularly the youth from pastoralist communities, I see a lot of opportunities for them in terms of value addition. In Kenya, if let's say you have some youth, and particularly you might have some people in America who are always thinking, what can I do? What can I do? And they do like 3 jobs. They start their shift maybe at 3 to 11, 11 to 7, and maybe some of them go from 7 to 3 o'clock. And they raise so much money, or they accumulate so much money, and at some point they want to be able to go back home. And it doesn't matter where you go, east, west, home is always the best thing. I think about farming, and a lot of people really underrate agriculture. And I think agriculture, even when you look at here, when you look at this beautiful vineyard, it is an income generating activity. I can see oranges there, people can be able to eat that. But when you look at the grapes here, people can be able to use that to make wine, and this wine is sold all over the world. So I think about what is available in Kenya. A lot of people might say, oh, I don't have land, but you can lease the land. We have government funds that can be able to give young boys and girls, can be able to give them loans, can be able to give them grants. We have the Weather Fund, we have the Youth Fund. So people need to be able to know that these things exist. So what do you do when you have that money?
Just a question, but do these funds really work? Because we hear these funds are being given out, but I haven't seen or heard anyone close to me who has gotten any.
Even the Bible says, ask and it shall be given unto you. A lot of people cannot be given because they haven't asked, and the government really has got so many, it's got so much on its plate for them to think of every single youth. In fact, if there's any government, either now or in future, which is coming, that has thought about poor people, is only the proposed government by Raila Amolo Odinga, because he said 2 million of the poorest will be given 6,000 shillings each every month for them to be able to try and do some little business. If, for instance, you are given the 6,000 shillings, you can go to a place of like Narok as an example. You can lease land. 1 acre of that land is 6,000 shillings. You can grow corn. When you grow the corn, you use another 6,000 shillings for the next month to buy the seeds to be able to grow it. By the time you're harvesting that, you don't harvest it as maize like for you to sell. You look at your surrounding, you ask yourself, what is in demand and doesn't exist? Animal feeds. Some of us who are in the dairy sector are really suffering now because we import most of our dairy feeds from Ukraine. Look at what is happening in Ukraine. So we now want to teach our youth how to realign their own existing resources, so that if you have 1 acre of land, that 1 acre of land you can plant maize. When you plant this maize, you take care of it during the rainy season. It's raining now in Kenya. It's raining cats and dogs. So when the rain is there, you grow this corn. Within 3 or 4 months, you don't have to wait for it to dry up. You can be able to come and look for a farmer like, Senator Olekina, and say, would you like to buy my corn?
So you're a farmer?
Yes, I'm also a farmer. And I want more youth to be able to think about farming, because farming creates jobs. It is a little bit hypocritical that we are promoting agriculture in Kenya, yet we're importing everything from outside the country. One of my biggest pet peeves is that I see trucks coming from Tanzania, carrying onions, carrying animal feeds. And you know what happens? When they go back empty. That affects our balance of trade. There's no way we can ever have a favorable balance of trade. So I think right now, the youth must start thinking and pushing government to come up with policies, pushing us legislators to come up with policies that will be able to end poverty. And how do you end that poverty? By venturing. When you look at this beautiful vineyard here, I mean, you have to imagine in Kenya, the weather, look at the weather in California. Don't you have that weather in Kenya?
We do.
There's only one person who has actually thought about putting up a vineyard in Kenya, which is this fellow who owns Leleshwa, the wine. Pius, I think his name is Pius Mboro or something like that. He has a beautiful vineyard in whatever, what do you call it, in Naivasha. So people come from outside, they do. There's also a Korean woman who has come from Korea. She's now growing some really good fruits. It's like a wild cactus. Very nice. They are red and the others are pink. They are sold, I think a pound is like about $3 or $4 a pound. Those are things that Kenyans can be able to do. So we need to be able to inculcate that culture of independence, that culture of saying, government cannot solve all my problems.
As a youth, I know the frustration
Yes.
that some of the youths have received from the government, like the funds you're talking about. You go there, you have to know someone who knows someone so they can connect you. It's just very frustrating. Although, so we have very many youth in Kenya who want to work and they're ready to work, but then the system is very corrupt and it is very frustrating. What advice do you have for such youth?
I think right now, when it comes to the election time, the youth should not be moved by small money that they're given to elect a leader. They have to be moved based on issues. I agree with you. I share your sentiments that there's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of frustration when it comes to the youth seeking government functions. And I think what we have done, the reason why you see us supporting Raila is because Raila wants to make it easy such that you as a youth do not have to go through that frustration.
Would you say firmly that there is money in farming?
The biggest billionaires, the silent billionaires, are farmers. Even here in America, billionaires are farmers. Okay? I mean, look at Mwale. Mwale is a farmer, isn't he?
Yes.
And what he's doing now, he's taking everything that he's learning here, bringing it to Kenya, building cities. Come on. Think about that. He gets it from the work that he does. In our culture, we say, the wise are the ones who leave the country, go see. So now I've seen the rose garden. So when I go back, I'm going to do a small rose garden, such that when you come in, you'll also feel like you're in San Francisco.
That's so funny.
So those are the things that you want to share. I've seen some oranges here. Do you want to go see them?
Wow. So I'm thinking of also getting into farming. I'm sold after the way you're talking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'll be your mentor, That's the thing, that's the beauty of it, because I'll be able to show you.
And I also want to, as a content creator, you know what? I have traveled around Kenya, but I have never been in Narok. I want to come to Narok, maybe for 4 days, show Narok town,
Yes.
the culture. What do you think?
Absolutely. And I'll be your mentor. I'll support you. I work with women a lot, So you'll get a good opportunity to chill with them, see some of the activities they're doing. What we're doing is we create wealth.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the oranges. Would you like one?
Yeah, definitely.
So let's go grab one. You want another one?
Yeah. Thank you. This tree, just look at this orange tree. It's just wow.
No, but when you get them out here, we have to eat them here.
Yeah.
You don't have to go wash them.
Oh,
you
really?
Can just clean them.
It's really nice to get food straight from the farm.
Yeah.
You know where it's coming from, so you can eat it confidently.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the sweet oranges.
Very good. There are some actually out here. Which are the tiny ones. Do you want to come and see them? Come, let's go in.
I don't think you'd know the difference between the normal and are they called the red oranges? The blood.
The bloody.
How do you know the difference?
Can tell they're turning black.
Oh.
Blood oranges.
This is incredible. Do we have such in Kenya? Have you heard of such?
You know, no, we have the pixie oranges right now in season. So we can actually try this in Kenya and see. Look at that, it's blood.
Guys, have you seen an orange like this before? I was shocked.
I mean, look at that. It's all blood.
Yeah. This must be good. Really healthy, right?
Mm. Try the bloody ones.
I've never done this before.
You see, when you're a farmer, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Look at how dry this place is. And look, I mean, they're like using drip irrigation.
Yeah, they actually, And in some places you have so much rain, you know, in Kenya.
You know.
So we can do even much more.
You can actually even do much better. Yeah. So I really would like to encourage you to, and I'm so happy that you are actually talking to Kenyans around. And congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, you have a big constituency, over 290,000 people. We want to increase that.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure we talk to people to follow you.
Thank you.
Because you're doing things, you're going places.
Thank you.
Know?